Okay,
And so that's fun.
that's good. Are you still working on school stuff, or did you finish your MS?
I'm taking a class right now. At the beginning of the summer, my advisor told me that we didn't have enough funding, and so I am doing research now, kind of, but kind of just like reading random articles. And in the fall, I won't be doing research anymore, and I won't write a thesis, and I'll just take classes and graduate.
Okay, well, that's still exciting. You can finish
Yeah.
up your master's. I understand that fully. My professor that I was going to do the lab with, because of everything that happened, like wasn't able to secure new projects for funding.
Hmm.
So I'm likely going to be taking a full-time internship in the fall. So like I started my master's with one class this summer, and now I'm going to go ahead and take an internship and probably take one class during the internship, which is going to be a little crazy, but
Oh,
it's
wow.
with NREL, so I'm super excited about it.
Uh-huh.
Um, Still in like the final processes of everything, so like it's not official yet. Um, but I'm hoping it all works out. Fingers crossed.
That's so exciting, though.
Yeah, so I still have a ways to go before I'm getting that piece of paper, but I just got my first piece of paper, so I'm still excited about that one.
Yeah. When I went home at spring break, my parents were like, "This ride for you," and it was like the diploma in the tube, and I was like, "Oh, neat!" Except for it was dented already. Like the corner was like all crumpled, like when they shoved it in there, and I was like,
No.
"Thanks." It's a really nice piece of paper, and now it's kind of,
They should have sent you a PDF copy too, right?
I don't know if
I got one.
I got one, but it was like it was in they send you an email saying that your diploma should have shipped or arrived or something, and it's in that email. Because I almost deleted that email, and then I was like, I guess I'll read it. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of important. Maybe I should download that.
I'll have to look for that then. But what I'm
It's actually
really
a pretty
waiting
good
for
copy.
is the wallet diploma, little
Yeah,
cardboard.
that's what I want.
Well, you can print out the PDF that size.
Make it small and laminate
Yeah.
it. I'm pretty sure that
Do I
like
have
the
a
senior
printer?
is that the SAA gift for graduating? The wallet diploma?
I don't know. They give you a little pewter rack when you graduate or before you
Oh yeah,
graduate.
no. Yeah, I did get that. Something I did, they were like, you get a free wallet diploma. And I was like, okay, why not?
When is that going to be useful?
Never.
It's a really neat party trick.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of neater if you do it yourself.
Well, then it seems like you're trying too hard. Of like, look at my diploma, and it's like, no, they gave me this. They wanted me to show it off.
What's cooler? The little card diploma or Daniel's ethylene costume?
Daniel's what costume?
Wait, was it ethylene? Ethylene?
Was it
Your
methane or
your
something?
your chemical molecule with the paper plates
Yeah,
costume?
same thing. Ethylene, ethene, they're the same thing.
Oh, good, I said the right word. I was completely guessing.
That was pretty good.
I think that beats out the tiny diploma. That was a pretty epic costume.
You should know that compound.
Me?
Yeah, me?
You both of you.
We're
I mean,
mechanical. We just know like hammers and screws.
yes,
Yeah,
combustion,
that's a basic compound.
but like they didn't teach me anything about compounds and chemistry.
It's a sister compound to your favorite compound, ethanol.
This is okay. I do like
Well,
ethanol.
I'm not a
I do
petroleum
like
engineer.
I do like blowing up ethanol.
I just meant the.
Oh, alcohol. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
The last time I took chemistry was in high school, so it's been a long time.
All right, well, speaking of the theme song, let's go to that now. This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone's broken arm.
Did you say someone's broken arm?
I broke my arm.
You broke your arm? Oh, my video's not working, so I can't see you.
That's okay.
I'm sorry you broke your arm.
She doesn't have a cast.
No, I just have a sling that I wear when I go anywhere because otherwise I just look silly, like clutching my stomach.
Yeah, I
It's not
get you.
always have a stomach ache.
Yeah, of like, oh, what was me? But it happened on Sunday, so just less than a week ago. I'd gone home to see my family for the 4th, and we didn't do much of anything except for my sister recently got a skateboard and she was teaching herself how to skateboard. And so I had her teach me how to skateboard. And we were going pretty well for about 15 minutes on the street outside our house, and then I fell backwards, landed on my butt, and hit my elbow. And I thought it was fine, but it hurt like a bitch. And then, can I swear?
You already did.
Okay. Um, and then I went inside and like got some ibuprofen. And then by the time I was ready to go outside again, my sister and my boyfriend came back inside because my sister had also fallen off her skateboard and she hurt her wrist.
Oh my goodness.
So we're just a hot mess in the Cosetnar family.
Oh no, that's no fun. Well, I guess at least you didn't break your shoulder, because I feel like if you hit your elbow, that could make your shoulder go out of place too.
And about a year and a half ago, my boyfriend broke his collarbone, and so that was much worse. I just have a very small fracture. The orthopedic doctor was just like, "Yep, it'll hurt, but to wear a cast would be more limiting, and like I would probably have like worse movement afterwards." And so just like freeballing it is the way that it's happening.
I love the term of freeball in it for wearing a sling on your broken arm.
It's a little sexist, but okay.
I don't know if I really know what freeballing means, but I'm just gonna go with it. I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know either, honestly.
The specifics I could do without.
Am I freeballing because I am ball free?
I think so.
Does that count, Daniel?
That's the title of the episode. So
Freeballing it?
sorry, I'm just typing notes. Elizabeth, talk about your legs.
My likes?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could talk about hiking. That's what I've been mostly doing recently. I don't do much else. I don't go to, well, this is what I do. These are the things that I like to do that I actually can do right now. So, 1, I go to the grocery store. 2, I go to Costco. I consider that a different adventure than the grocery store because Costco is just a magical wonderland. And
It's
3,
like a whole nother realm.
I go hiking. It's been great. My family went up to a house up in the mountains for 4th of July, like the couple days before, and then we left the day after 4th. And it was super fun. My mom and I summited 2 mountains in a day. It was epic. I slept
wow.
like a rock that night. And I will say that the second mountain climb, it wasn't too bad. It's like one of the easier ones. It has a pretty nice view from the top, but it's like a mile on a pretty gentle incline. But the first one was like, oh man, I think we hiked like 8 miles that day, with 2 miles being the easy one. So it was like 6 miles like round trip, and going up, it was just like straight up steep incline. We went up, oh man, how many? It may have been like, I think it was 1,500 feet of elevation in like 2 miles or something crazy like that. And so it was absolutely brutal, but there was a couple little stops along the way with like miniature waterfalls just where the creek kind of fell. So my mom and I would stop there and kind of rest, and then we would keep going. Oh man, we were getting shown up by some old ladies and this little tiny like rat dog who were just like running up and down the mountain. I was like, I am not prepared for this level of physical activity. All I do is sit in my house and hide.
Well, it's also crazy hot outside too, right?
Yeah, it was pretty warm. So that was definitely working against us in that case, but it's been pretty fun. I just kind of like to go for walks. What about y'all?
I've been sitting, and I have been taking a class, and so I've been working on classwork, but lots of Netflix. just finished up rewatching Avatar. So that was fun.
It's so good. I'm rewatching it with one of my friends right now. We're in the middle of book 3.
Very nice. I just watched the season finale last night, and it was just like, it was really fun to rewatch it because I'd watched it when it was coming out on TV and just like we'd like see reruns of it all the time. But when the finale finally came out, me and my 2 siblings, the 3 of us had been watching it separately. It wasn't very cool with our friends, so we didn't like actively advertise we were watching Avatar. But then we finally kind of realized that like all 3 of us really liked Avatar. And so when the finale came out, I remember sitting in my brother's room and the 3 of us were just like staring at the TV for forever because it was a long episode. But it was just like a nice like bonding moment of like, yeah, we can be nerds together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't it crazy how, like 10 years ago when it came out, if you missed the episode that week, you were screwed. Right? You had to like pray it was on a rerun or whatever, hope it was on like later in the week,
I
or you could try
know.
to catch it before the next episode the following week.
There was definitely like at least 2 or 3 episodes that I had never seen before. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I guess I missed this one.
Well, now you just pull it up on demand. Everything's on demand now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no excuses for missing episodes.
And really, the idea that TV shows had seasons was really foreign to me as a kid. I was just like, I don't know, Jimmy Neutron and the Fairly Odd Parents are on all the time. And like, there's not really any continuous story. And so I was just like, what do you mean there's seasons? Like, these episodes have an order? I didn't understand that as a kid. I was just like, it's on.
You still don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, now seasons are irrelevant because you just watch it all at once in a binge. So, like, you just wait until the whole show's out, and then you press play, and then you never stop.
You never
And
click
then
your mouse.
Netflix asks you, like, are you still watching? And you're like, yes, I am still watching. Don't judge me. No, it's been 3 hours.
You don't have to report that. Just play the next one. Don't put in your numbers.
Just pretend I took like a little bit of a break and came back.
Yeah, my younger sister and I watched Avatar as well, and then she really, really loved it, and so she bought the box set. So all these years that like it's been gone, I've watched it. I think I've watched it like once or twice, just because we've had the box set of all 3 books on DVD, so we had to keep our DVD player just so we can watch them. But it's been so good looking back now, especially because now that memes are a thing and everybody's watching it, there's Avatar memes. And you're like, yes, so many other people are appreciating this for the art that it is.
The memes are good. It's funny, right before that it was announced that Avatar was going to go on Netflix, or at least I don't know when they announced that, but my sister within the last couple of months, she bought the box set of the Avatar DVDs because she was like, I want this, and she wanted to watch it. And then shortly after it was like, oh, it's going to be on Netflix. But at least you own something in hard copy. They can't take it away.
That's true.
So have you guys seen Legend of Korra, which is the sequel series?
I watched the first season of Legends of Korra. And then, like you said, with the whole if you miss an episode, you're screwed thing, missed an episode and kind of got screwed. And then I think I just missed whenever it was coming on. So I never finished Legends of Korra.
I watched a little bit of the first season, but kind of like fell behind and never really caught up again.
I think it might be better than Avatar. I mean,
I hear arguments for both.
It's better and worse, obviously. It's a little more adult, like it's a little darker, and the themes are a little richer.
Darker.
I've heard there's more like politics involved.
Yeah, it's a lot more complicated and complex. Like
instead of just like, we're gonna save the world.
Oh yeah, there's like politics.
Yeah, well, because they live in that city, and it's not like, oh, you have all the kingdoms. It's like the Industrial Revolution, kind of.
Yeah, it's more modernized a bit that way. And there's still like it's still very much the same world.
Mm-hmm.
and there's some crossover characters. It's basically just set like I forgot how like.
Well, I think what
like,
Toph and
yeah, she shows up.
Zuko.
Katara shows up.
Yeah, I saw Katara. That was still in the first season. I think she showed up.
But there's some really cool stuff that they do. Even I I do like the first season, but the third season I think is really cool.
I did hear that it gets a lot better as
I
it
don't like
goes on.
The second season is like all spirit world stuff,
Oh.
which I always thought was kind of one of the weaker parts of Avatar anyway.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just-
I think they just didn't do too great a job with Aang in the spirit world because, I mean, I guess they kind of couldn't just because of his lack of training as the Avatar. And then the whole thing in the second book when he kind of loses his Avatar connection at the end.
Well, I mean, yeah, Korra expands on that a little. The first season of Legend of Korra, which I mean, Elizabeth, you saw, is like
Yeah.
just a terrorist.
Yeah, it's just what was his
yes,
name? Like
exactly.
Amon or something, and
I
he's
don't
just
remember his name.
he's like a bloodbender and like takes away people's bending and
Spoilers. No, I knew that. One thing I was
Sorry.
thinking as I was watching the finale is that like really it just as like a theme in different fantasy and sci-fi things is like yeah there's the revolution but it's actually the building afterward that's the hard part of like you can't just like topple a government and be like all right you guys got this bye.
Well, that's kind
And
of how Korra kind of touches on that. I think that's kind of the point of that
and so
series.
that'd be something I'd be interested. Hopefully, it comes on soon enough on something streaming.
Yeah, I'm
But
upset. I was trying to find it and I could not find it anywhere. It's on
yeah,
like Nicktoons, but
I
we're
think
getting
that's
to
what
the
happened
point.
to me is I was like trying to like look it up to watch it online because I had gotten behind and missed episodes and then I just couldn't get it. So I just kind of gave up on the show.
We're getting to the point where there's too many streaming services, and it's like, why don't they just bundle these all together, and then we could watch any of the channels that we want, and then we've got cable again,
Yep.
but it's on demand cable.
which is really, I don't watch commercials anymore, and for like the first day that I'll go back home and my parents watch TV, and for about the first day that I'm there, the commercials are funny. I'm like, that's cute. That's funny. Whatever. But then, the second day, I'm like, okay, we've seen the same commercial play 5 times every hour,
You have like
for
the
this,
Hulu Premium. You have the no ads Hulu.
or just no, just with regular cable. My parents
Yeah.
are old school like that, and it's exhausting. I'm like, I do not care about your fancy feast or your cat. Like, you don't have a cat. I don't care. Go away. I
You
don't
know
I
want to
what
was
watch any ads.
commercials always make me laugh that are not actually funny? Those ones for like copper gloves and copper socks, copper pillow. I saw a copper pillowcase one. I was like, okay, you have just gone too far with the copper now. This doesn't do anything. It's just a sock.
I
Those
was
always make me laugh.
I was watching a show on the CW because that's who I am. Well, online, like not on cable.
What
I just
show?
watched it. That doesn't matter.
Is it
So
Stargirl?
no, but I see so many ads for that.
I've been watching it. It's okay, but I
Anyway,
haven't quit watching it.
in like there's like ad breaks, right? And in one of the ad breaks, 2 ads in a row were for 2 different tampon companies, and I was like, well, that's the channel I'm watching. That makes sense.
Yep.
They know their audience. I was just sitting there. I was like, do I have to watch this?
Can I say like not applicable? Skip?
Yeah, I know. Where's
Please?
the applicable button?
Because some apps where there's ads, like there's ads on Facebook, there's ads on Snapchat, and like sometimes you can click on it and say like, no, this is offensive, I don't want to see it, and it'll get rid of it and start like, sorry, we won't show you more of this. But then
I
sometimes they're
wasn't
just like,
offended.
we just want to like, I'm just like, I don't want to see this ad. Show me something else. I understand the point of ads. I don't really like them, but please show me a different one.
I wasn't offended. It was more just like, well, I get it because of the channel I was watching too. It made sense because the CW is historically targeted toward like teenage girls and Elizabeth.
My whole family's watching it. That's what really makes it comedic. We watch it as a family.
Oh, I could not convince my family to watch it. I was watching The 100.
Yeah, I
That's really
haven't watched that one.
that's
We've been
really
watching Shield, which we only just started watching in the final season. My dad's like, "This is kind of cool. I don't know why we haven't been watching this the whole time." And Stargirl it's not that great, but we
so
haven't quit watching. So
Owen's mom will like just start watching TV in the middle of like a series. Like she'll start in season 2 and she'll be like, I don't need season 1. It's fine.
But
Like,
that's how I started, like Parks and Rec and even The Office. It's like, no, I'm just gonna skip that.
No, but that's okay in comedies. So do you guys know the series Big Little Lies?
yes, but I haven't watched it.
Okay, well there's like the whole point of the first season, there's a big reveal at the end of the first season. Because it's like based on a book.
Yeah, I have the book right now, so don't spoil
Yeah.
anything. Because I'm currently reading it.
It's not a spoiler. It's just like the first season builds towards something.
Right.
Just like any show. And like Owen's mom starts in season 2 after that has already happened and is saying like, well, it's fine. But like she missed the whole point of the series.
Of like she hates her and she's actually a bad guy, but she's reformed and he's the secret evil villain.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm pretty sure that show's about murder. I don't know. My mom read the book before me. I checked it out from the library because our library finally opened and it's basically like curbside library pickup. And so I'm just kind of like, you sit in the car and then tell them your card number, then they like put the books in your trunk and then you drive home, which was kind of cool. But I reserved 4 books that all had different numbers of people ahead of me. And then all 4 of them came in within like 3 days. So I was like, oh, now I have 4 books to read by August 15th, so I better get reading.
See, that is the reveal. That people are still going to the library.
Well, it was closed until July 1st, and now it's open.
There's various public services that I'm like fully gung-ho for. Not that public services are a wonderful thing and we should have more of them. But like the library and the postal system of like, no, we need these things. Let them be nice and freely available to everyone. And it's sad to see sometimes that they really struggle.
The postal system isn't free.
Well, no, it's not. But they're also like they're not allowed to raise the cost of postage. Like it doesn't cost you that much to send a.
You don't know my budget. Okay, those 2 stamps are really tough on me. I don't even know the price.
There have been various things that have been kind of stripping the postal system of their ability to like generate revenue and like support themselves. And we should not have a privatized postal system because that's a national commodity and we need to be able to send our mail through a non-biased source.
Oh, my FedEx package just arrived.
What'd you get?
No, I'm just kidding. That was the bit.
Oh.
I actually did have 2 things delivered today by the USPS. So there you go.
I think I'm mostly biased towards USPS because last summer during my internship, we'd rented this house for the summer and it was right by this high school football stadium. There wasn't a high school there, which was really weird to me that they weren't together, but I don't know, it's the South. The football is the bread and butter of everyone I know. So, but in the parking lot at 7 a.m. every day, they would have mailman school and they would train the mailmen.
That's amazing.
They're out there doing
these
push-ups.
fake mailboxes along the parking lot and they had a couple of mail trucks and it was just magical of like, wow, I didn't know that there was this intense. No, we didn't say hi. But it was just they were always there and it was like, yeah, mailman.
Are they like running laps between they're doing like relays between the mailboxes?
They're probably like blasting them with like a fire hose so they can practice delivering in the rain.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. They've got like a robot dog like little RC car with a dog strapped, like a stuffed dog strapped to the top, and they chase them around with a speaker that's like.
They have those little signs that say "Don't walk on the grass."
Hopefully they don't have target practice though, like some of the Amazon deliveries or whatever, where they throw the package at your front door. I think I didn't see that for the USPS, and so they're too classy for that.
Okay. One of my neighbors, when like the mail delivers them packages that are too big for their mailbox, they just put it in their like bush. Like the bush that's like surrounding their mailbox or like whatever like flower. So I was walking my dog last night and there was just a package sitting on top of this like rose bush.
Oh.
And I was like, this is kind of funny.
Not the roses.
I think they were knockout roses. Those things are hardy. You cannot kill that bush.
Okay. I've become a plant lady recently.
I somehow am killing my succulent. I don't know what I did. It was growing so big and strong, and then I think it grew too tall, and then it couldn't support itself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to do with that. It's just been breaking. I'm like...
The two biggest problems with that I've had with succulents is watering too much. They really like to dry out. They're desert plants. They like misery. But then with certain succulents, if they don't get enough sun, they grow really, really tall because they're searching for the sun. They're like, the sun is up, so I'm going to go up. And then
I probably need to move it then.
And so they'll get really tall and like really skinny, and they'll probably get like really wobbly and like fall over and like lose their head at some point. But luckily, once they do that, you can kind of like, you can trim it back and replant it. And if you put it in some better sun, then they'll be a little bit happier.
All right, good deal. It's next to a window, but I think there's a kind of a tree that shades it part of the day, so it's not getting enough sun, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep cactuses in a lot of places, is what I've learned. But they grow like weeds in my backyard, and so I'm like, it has to be. It's easy. What do you mean? But my backyard back home is Phoenix, Arizona, where we get like 360 days of sun.
That's a lot of sun.
Yep.
So do like little succulent type cactuses grow, or like a prickly cactus?
We have some prickly cactuses. Well, actually, we don't have any prickly cactuses because we've got dogs, and we've lived in that house since we were kids, and so my parents didn't want any prickly accidents. But we have like aloes, and there's this one plant that's called, I think it's called elephant bush, is what my mom calls it, but it's also like known as a jade plant and all these other things. And that literally just like grows like a weed. We have this little plant basin that gets probably about 12 hours of sun a day in the summer, and it loves it there. And it's like, that's so painful. It's so hot. We can't even like walk out there. The dogs run away, but it's pretty hardy. And then I tried to bring it to Atlanta to grow, and it's very upset with me. I like the sun. What do you guys think?
So what are you going to do for housing in the fall? Are you going to do on campus or?
I had actually moved into an apartment off campus last December.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been in my own apartment, and I got all these nice plants, and I decorated, and I really enjoyed that. But then March came along, and then I came home. And so I was in my apartment for not all that long. I haven't been back, and I won't be back until August. And so a very nice apartment and rent that I have not used.
Oh.
But
are you going to keep the same lease for this coming year or semester?
Yeah, I got a lease from December until my lease will end at the end of this year, and I'll graduate in December again. And so it all surprisingly works out fairly well. We'll just have to see if Georgia Tech actually continues in person or not.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Well, I get those like update emails like every day now.
With the coronavirus task force.
Yeah, I don't
There's
read them.
nothing useful in those emails.
Oh, is there?
Not usually. Even
Everyone's
when they
all
say
working
something
out.
useful, it's usually not that useful.
Yeah.
It's always just, we don't know.
And really, nobody knows anything, which is the problem.
There's no way to know until like the day before, basically, because the situation's changing so much.
Yeah. But it'll be really interesting. I'm glad they finally were able to grow a pair and require masks.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I'm sick of people freeballing it and not wearing masks.
Bring it right back around to the freeballing.
Yeah, there you go. It's called a callback.
See that, listeners? We are exciting and keeping you on topic. It's what you came here for, freeballing. Speaking of ballin', Atlanta United's playing tonight.
Wait, there's sports happening?
Yes. There's no
I live under a
fans.
rock.
They're all at home playing against each other. So
Oh,
everyone's
is
on
it like a FIFA thing and they're going to be on
Yeah.
their controllers and they have to play themselves on the video game? And
Exactly.
Didn't Josh Okogie do that with some people on the NBA video game? Like, the Minnesota Timberwolves were scheduled to play some other team, and then he just played a guy on their team in the NBA game. I think he lost, though.
Well,
But no, they're actually playing right now. Atlanta United's losing, but they're playing the New York Red Bulls, and I feel like Atlanta United always struggles with the New York Red Bulls.
soccer is really the only sport that's happening right now.
And well, baseball is starting the 24th for the Braves. It's supposed to. We'll see. Who are the Braves opening against?
And they're not changing the name too.
No, I don't think they will.
Yeah, they
Why
came
would
out
they
and
change
said,
the name?
you're definitely not.
They are opening against. I don't know what this logo is.
What does it say?
Were they going to change the name of the Braves?
We'll get to that in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
What's the logo?
It's. I think it's an NY. It's kind of blurry, but it's orange.
Oh, the Mets?
Is the Mets orange?
That's like an orange and blue.
Wait, let me look up the Mets logo. Not on
Okay,
a blurry.
So, oh yeah. So
Oh
there's
yeah. Okay, yeah, that is the Mets.
so the name thing, like a lot of sports teams now that have potentially insensitive names, like the
Okay.
Redskins, the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
The Braves are kind of in that category. It's a little more broad. Like it's not as bad as like Redskins, obviously.
Yeah.
But like it still has perhaps sensitive roots, and that's the kind of, especially the chop. That's what like a lot of people are really pushing to get rid of.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Braves already did get rid of Chief Nakahoma that used to be at the games, which I think was a big step.
And I mean, they basically said they're keeping the name, like the stakeholders. That's who I mean by they, like the owners. Said they're keeping the name. The logo is also staying.
The tomahawk?
Yeah, which is slightly controversial, but they said it's for branding purposes, right? Because like that's what people recognize. And the chop they're talking about, that's in quotes. Obviously, the chop comes from Florida State.
Florida State, play tomahawk chop, chant number 42.
Oh, yeah. Those are separate things.
Well, at least they're having those discussions. That's always a good thing to reevaluate.
Well, even the Washington Redskins have been hesitant to change their name for decades now.
Yeah, but
It's all branding.
and once you change the branding, you lose the recognition and the
Potentially, like old fans might retaliate.
Yeah.
People have to get all new gear.
Well,
Well,
The
that's a
team is
marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like they're worried
Good for the
about
marketing.
people going, these aren't my Redskins anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not watching their games and stuff like that.
I know my grandpa used to take us to baseball games and we would see the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they used to have like these turquoise and purple uniforms. And I actually really liked it. It was just like pretty good. And then they changed it to like maroon or red and black and as every other red sports team. But it was not that I have really been ever a big sports follower, but I was just like, no, but I like the retro. Retro is cool. Why do you change a good thing? But it's all for selling the memorabilia and the uniforms and.
So, linking this back to the TV, I was watching Seinfeld, and Seinfeld has like this one bit where it's like sports fans. What's the point of being a sports fan? Like, what are you rooting for? The players change all the time. Even sometimes the teams move cities. So what are you actually rooting for? You're rooting for the uniforms. That's the only thing that stays the same.
I would have to agree.
Like, you're really just rooting for the people in blue shirts. You don't care who it is.
Blue, 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 blue.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were talking uniforms, I'm going to have to say the Seattle Seahawks, they have fresh uniforms.
Haven't seen.
Well, they're the ones that wear it's kind of a neon-y green with the navy, and I really like the neon green.
They
But
also have like a turquoise, don't they?
I think so, yeah. I also really like the Minnesota Timberwolves Purple Rain jersey, which is just their regular jerseys, just in purple. But I really like it. I think it's a good look.
Purple's always a good choice.
It is a good choice. I know how much you love purple. I did try to dye the tips of my hair purple. I was like, I'm going to go into the quarantine trend and dye my hair, but then it didn't even show up. And I was like, I'm not bleaching my hair to do this. So I gave
Why
up.
purple? Everyone does purple.
Because
it's the best color.
It's a good color.
Okay. Some people think it suggests other things.
Like
Daniel?
a bruise? Oh, that's the other thing I did. I broke my toe.
How'd you break your toe?
So I broke my arm on Sunday, and then I was attempting to. I was doing my coursework of just like I had a proposal that I had to write, and I basically have my laptop set up, and I'm using that keyboard in my left hand. In my right hand, I have this other keyboard, and I can type with both of them. Because my right arm does not cooperate and is not going to go somewhere where there's a screen. But I've been sitting at this dining table as my desk, and the chair kind of got stuck in like a rivet, and I couldn't like push myself away from the table with my arm because it hurt. And so I was like shimmying, and I then like put my foot down to try and like help myself move, and then I moved the chair on top of my pinky toe.
Oh no.
And then there was a nice
crunch,
crack, I think. I don't really know. I don't want to think about it. And then it's nice and purple at the moment. But luckily, I have broken that toe before, and so I don't think it's serious.
Okay.
Well, that's good, I guess. You poor thing. You're just getting beaten up during quarantine.
And you got a black eye. Oh.
I'm a menace to myself. I should be put in like a bubble vest or something.
Inanimate objects are out to get you.
Yeah.
I was trying to cut up a head of broccoli with a knife using my left hand, and my boyfriend ended up just taking the knife away from me. He was like, nope, we're not going to do this right now.
Good.
And I agree with him.
I mean, I would
have
say
to say I agree with him too.
I would say just go sit somewhere, but you can't even sit in a chair.
Yeah. I might hurt myself. But luckily what happened the first time when I broke the toe is I went to stamps, the clinic at Georgia Tech, and they were just like, "Yep, it might be broken. We can give you an X-ray, but all we're gonna do is tape it to the next toe." And so that's what I'm gonna do. Is just tape it to my other toe, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think I broke a toe once because it only hurt for like one day and then it was fine. And so I was like, maybe I didn't break it and I just kind of strained it or something. But I was walking around the pool deck picking up kickboards after swim practice, and I went to go pick up a kickboard near the diving board that was underneath it, and I stepped too close to the diving board and basically just kicked the metal pole that holds the diving board up and just like I split like my second and third toe, and like they went each way around the pole, and oh man, that hurt so bad.
That sucks.
But then I had to go to a baby shower, so I taped it up, stuck it in a sneaker, and hobbled off to the baby shower.
It's a fine line of like, I should put a shoe on because then it's more protected, but the act of putting in a shoe
But
hurts.
it hurts.
And so I've just been walking around barefoot. But I haven't gone anywhere because thanks, COVID. So
What a treat.
yeah.
Did you ever break a toe, Daniel?
No.
Ever lose a toenail?
No.
Ever
I have
lose
a
a
clean
fingernail?
record. No. I have a pretty clean record.
You never
Ever break
closed
any
your
bones?
finger in a car door?
No. Why do you say that like it's so common?
I don't know. That happened to me like twice as a child. I didn't move my hand fast enough.
We use that as a metaphor in my family of like, you're having a conversation of like maybe talking about politics with your parents or things like that, where you know it's not going to go well, but you do it anyway and you slam your hand in a car door. Knew it would hurt, but you just didn't decide to not do it fast enough.
That's a good analogy.
Okay. Well, we can wrap this up. Any parting thoughts?
Be safe, kids. Just because it's COVID doesn't mean you can't break yourself. Break your bones.
Don't forget to freeball it.
Yes, keep the balls free and your toes closer.
Yep.
Okay, Elizabeth. Last words.
I don't know. I was going to try and make some joke about freeballing, but now I can't think of anything good.